Caitlin Clark looking to add more to her already historic rookie campaign, hosting the wings. Early second, good ball movement to Clark in motion as she connects on the triple. Fever down 5. A few minutes later, swung around the arc to Clark, who knocks down the deep 3. Fever down 2 at the half. Clark with 15 points and 3 made threes through this point. Now early third we go, and Clark uses the screen, puts up the contested 2 and buries it. Fever up 1, 22 points and counting. Mid-fourth, Clark in motion at the top of the perimeter, puts up the deep sidestep 3 and cashes. Next Fever possession, Clark fires another sidestep 3 and nails it. She finished with a career high 35 points as the Fever go on to win 110-109.
In a recent game that will be remembered in the history of Onba, Caitlin Clark was unstoppable, racking up jaw-dropping 35 points and shattering records as she goes. And just when the spotlight was about to be on her outstanding performance, everything took a plunge. Caitlin Clark was viciously fouled and left on the ground, her teammates and fans stunned. And to make the matter worse, the referee seems unmoved and just stands by, letting the moment slip through.
Caitlin Clark still able to beat everybody back to the rim, and they're going to look at this.
Yeah, they got to look at this one.
Occasionally, teammates, kind of have to come in and redirect you away from the refs.
Well, I didn't think they were going to give me a technical at any point tonight. I would have been really sad for people in Washington, D.C. I didn't want to do that. I tried my best, but my teammates do a really good job of that. They think I'm funny. They think it's funny. So, and then Aaliyah is the one that ends up with a technical. That's the best part about it all. Like, she's the one babysitting me, and then somehow she ends up with a technical.
This wasn't just an ordinary foul. It was a game-changing controversy that marred a monumental night. Caitlin Clark, the sensational rookie player who has been on the lips of many fans and analysts and hailed as the new Sue Bird in women's basketball, was once again in the spotlight. Her signature 30-yard three-pointer and superb court vision has made her be on fire all season, averaging over 20 points per game. Her feats are nothing but historic, from shattering multiple NCAA records to being named Big Ten Player of the Year these night was another career-defining moments for her, or at least it should have been.
Caitlin Clark just wrapped up her generational career at Iowa. And although it might not have ended in a coveted national championship win, her impact on the women's game has been historic, giving women's basketball a whole new level of excitement and popularity. It seemed like she was breaking records every time she stepped on the floor in college, and her historic performances make us wonder how quickly she will dominate at the next level once she's drafted.
However, what was meant to be a spectacular achievement soon took a new turn. The game-changing foul and the officials' inability to act swiftly left fans and critics questioning the fairness of it all.
Clark and draws the foul at 1.6. She goes sprawling. She went sprawling into her own bench.
And it looks like that was whistled intentional without even reviewing it, even though they will be taking a look. Here's Caitlin Clark going, and Nicholson giving her an extra curricular two-hand shove.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate for Georgia with the game that they have played today to have it end like this.
Yeah, just frustration coming to the forefront. Several seniors.
The question now on the lips of many is, will this monumental moment be remembered for her unforgettable performance, or will it be forever marred by an unfair foul that changed the way the game is played? Join us as we go deep into this shocking moment that not only spotlight the integrity of the game, but also question the challenges athletes face on their way to greatness. This night belongs to Caitlin Clark, but why did the referee drop the ball when it mattered the most? The fourth quarter saw Caitlin on fire, and with every shot she made, every pass she delivered, the crowd could feel that this night was going to be special.
McNeil, senior for Greenfield, Tennessee.
Up. Caitlin Harper just off the mark and quickly the other way. This is exactly what Caitlin Clark and the Hawkeyes do in transition.
Difference for Kinley the last two possessions is she's not catching it in the short corner. It's Stokey running the floor. And then look at the touch on this. Stokey runs straight to the rim, right past.
And then Clark will push the other way. Clark finding Marshall. She's got it.
Clark, crossover, wraps it around deep. And another J. This time it's a falter. Clark guarded by Briggs. Back door finds Martin.
see. Kate Martin trying to go back to Caitlin Clark, who's double teamed on the baseline, got through. Beautiful look. Stuelke couldn't finish it.
In Iowa.
And as the game progressed, it seemed like nothing was going to stop Clark from setting another on-bar record. Then came the moment that stunned the whole auditorium. As Clark made her way toward the basket for what looked to be a routine layup, an opposing player, known for her aggressive defense, delivered a hard, vicious knock.
Off of a dead ball, off of a turnover. And Caitlin Clark still able to beat everybody back to the rim. And they're going to look at this.
They got to look at this one. Occasionally, teammates, kind of have to come in and redirect you away from the refs.
Well, I didn't think they were going to give me a technical at any point tonight. I would have been really sad for people in Washington, D.C. I didn't want to do that. I tried my best. But my teammates do a really good job of that. They think I'm funny. They think it's funny. So, and then Aaliyah is the one that ends up with a technical. That's the best part about it all. Like, she's the one babysitting me, and then somehow she ends up with a technical. And she didn't really do anything. She was just standing there, so that's what it was fun.
The impact was instant. Clark hit the floor hard and clutching her side in pain. For a split second, time stood still. The crowd, her teammate, and even the commentators waited for the whistle to sound. Surprisingly, no whistle was blown. The referee stood as if nothing had happened. This should have been a flagrant, game-altering foul. This prompted the fans to erupt and the commentators calling out the referee for negligence. The social media went wild, and analysts will not let the event die without providing their expert opinions and dissecting every moment of the match.
What's up? This is Coach Marcus, Pro Fan Talk. I want to talk a little bit about the WNBA and how they are calling fouls. I'm seeing a lot of content coming out, YouTube, on Twitter, Facebook, the Facebook groups, the Caitlin Clark groups, and they're saying that, is it fair that there's so much physical play on Caitlin Clark? Let me take that out of the picture right now. Yes, they are playing Caitlin Clark physical, and they should be. Yes, they are playing Angel Reese physical, and every other rookie that's starting right now. Cameron Brink, they're playing her physical. The problem is, I don't expect them not to. Angel Reese said it best. They're not going to hold back on her because she's a rookie, and her name is Angel Reese. She played that perfectly. She had the perfect response for that, even though the girl was 100% wrong.
How could the referee miss such a critical moment, especially concerning a player like Caitlin Clark, who was having one of the best performances of her career? The silence from the officials wasn't just a mistake, it was a total sham.
Jealousy of WNBA players towards Caitlin Clark has been clear due to the amount of cheap shots and flagrant fouls she's received so far in her rookie season. The WNBA has had 30 flagrant fouls this season. Doesn't seem like that much. But the issue is that 5 of these 30 flagrant...
As Caitlin lay on the floor, the tension in the arena reached its peak. Her teammates rushed to her side, but all eyes were on the referee, waiting for him to make the call. Still, there was nothing. The crowd's shock turned to outrage, their boos echoing through the stadium as they demanded justice for Clark. However, with everything thrown at her, Clark was not ready to stay down. Slowly, she got back to her feet, and this time with even more determination and a quest to prove herself. But it's not hard to see that the fouls against her had unsettled her. For a player who commanded the game to this point, this was more than just a physical setback. It was a mental one, too. Yet, despite the pain, despite the lack of support from the officials, Caitlin Clark wasn't about to back down. The crowd felt the weight of the moment. Every dribble, every pass, and every movement from Clark was now under intense scrutiny. Would she be able to shake off the foul and lead her team to victory? Or would this non-call be the moment that undid her incredible night? The anticipation was palpable. Everybody knows basketball is a very competitive sport, and Caitlin Clark knew better. She has been playing basketball since age 5, and back then she competed in the boys' recreational league because there was no girls' recreational group for her age set, and playing hardcore basketball is not new to her. But on this night, as the game pressed on, so were the fouls against her relentlessly ever increasing. Opposing players took advantage of the referee's inconsistent responsibility and persistently continued with their vicious attack, and in the midst of all, Clark persisted. Despite the blows, the mounting frustration, she continues to urge her team on. Her deep three-pointers never stopped, and her court vision was still as sharp.
Shots. 45 blocks last year. Clark for 3.
Defend and stop other players from other teams from scoring.
Well, last year Indiana was 10th in pace. Christy Sides telling us Clark rattles her second 3. 6. Here it is again, Cheryl.
I mean, she's just so crafty.
That's what Krista Gerlich told me about you at Texas Tech. They wanted the offensive foul, not going to get it. Assists per game, best assist to turnover ratio in her career last season. Clark gets away with a little push, fall away, buries it.
That was a pretty good team.
That was pretty.
What made that team so good, you two? Outside Clark again.
Clark off the screen, finds some space, and there's a three. Been ice cold since that first quarter. Clark way outside. You bets.
But every move she made turned into a battle. Every dive she made to the hoop was met with even more physicality. And shockingly, the refs continued to look the other way, seemingly indifferent to the tension on the court. For Clark's teammates, the play became unbearable. They watched as Clark was the target time and time again, powerless to do anything. Meanwhile, the fans' frustration got to a boiling point, and they continued to shout and berate from the stands. Social media was flooded with furious comments. Sport analysts were surprised, and the entire Woomba community was left to wonder, where were the refs? As the game wound down, Caitlin Clark found herself facing an almost unbearable challenge. Her team was behind by a few points and the clock was ticking down, and whenever she touched the ball, she was met with ruthless, uncompromising defense. Yet the true Caitlin Clark refused to bow or be intimidated by these pressures. In one of the game's final plays, Clark made her way to the basket, only to be met again by a defender who delivered a hard hit on her. This time, even the commentators couldn't believe the lack of a call. Clark, clearly upset and physically battered, took a deep breath as she got back to play. But it's not over yet. The crowd knew something extraordinary was happening, and they erupted in support. Just seconds left in the clock, Clark made one final move. She pulled up for a deep three-pointer, her signature style she had made countless times before. The ball glided beautifully through the air, and as it neared the rim, the arena held its breath. The ball went smoothly into the basket to give the Indiana Fever the victory they so much fought for, and the arena erupted as the final whistle blew. Clark's heroic performance not only led her team to victory, but did so with a decisive finisher. And as the buzzer blared, it wasn't the win that made the night spectacular, it was Caitlin Clark's indomitable willpower. Through vicious fouls, lack of protection from the officials, and relentless physical brute, she poured everything she had on that court. The scoreboard was far more than a number. Her 35 points were a fiery declaration of her resilience, her unquenchable drive and refusal to give up, not to the bully and definitely not even to the referees. Everyone in the building felt it, the fans, the media, her teammates. This game goes beyond wins and losses. It was about hearts, grits, and the soul of Caitlin Clark, the warrior who refused to be silenced. The next day saw the social media erupted with hashtags demanding for a transparent and reform within the officiating ranks, and Clark's silence became a powerful statement in itself, focusing more on what truly mattered, the game and her team performance. The fans and players were calling for better officiating. Clark channels her frustration into training, determined to elevate her game even further. She wasn't just a professional athlete, she was a symbol of perseverance and strength, sharing with the feelings of many players who faced similar challenges. This incident not only fueled her competitive spirit, but brought to fore a larger conversation about systemic inconsistencies in sports, drawing more attention to the need of proper officiating standards that would benefit all players and ensure fair play. In a game that will forever be remembered in history, both for its controversy and Caitlin Clark's undeniable performance, one thing is sure: Caitlin Clark is unstoppable. Although the referee's failure to make a call and the vicious fouls against Caitlin may have downplayed the beauty of the game and overshadowed her record-breaking performance, it's not enough to dent what she has built for herself, a legacy. The fact is, this game was not just a game, it was a showcase of resilience in the face of injustice. It's also a powerful reminder that the path to greatness is often paved with obstacles. But no setback, no missed call, no controversy can obliterate the fire inside Caitlin Clark. If anything, it'll only make her stronger. And as the debate rages on about the poor officiating, the undeniable fact remains that Caitlin Clark's performance is on another level. Don't just watch her journey, be part of it. Follow her rise, join the conversation, and witness the making of a legend. The future is bright, and Caitlin Clark is the future.